Around the NFL, here's Jack McGrath.
Well, Cap, I think I'm going to make you a little bit upset with this first one. Around the NFL, CBS Sports wrote an article with a panel of their writers about NFL teams who are expected to overperform expectations and then teams that are expected to underperform expectations. 2 of the 5 writers said that the Bears won't overperform expectations, but they were their pick to underperform expectations next season. Brian DiArdo of CBS Sports says, I'm leery when it comes to putting too high of expectations on a rookie starting quarterback. Jordan Dajani said the schedule in the NFC North is just too tough for the Bears. Are their concerns valid?
Wait a minute. Who are these dudes?
CBS Sports writers Brian DiArdo and Jordan Dajani.
Hold on a second. Brian, how do you spell DiArdo?
D-E-A-R-D-O.
Okay, let's see what this dude's NFL chops are. Brian DiArdo. I don't even know who Brian DiArdo is. And when you punch Brian DiArdo in, you don't get anything. Nothing.
You get a recipe for jardiniere.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what? Tell Brian and what's the other dude's name?
Jordan Dajani.
Yeah, tell Jordan to stick it where the sun don't shine. I disagree with them vehemently.
One of those guys make a really good mustard, though.
That would be Dijon.
Oh, beg your pardon.
Brian DiArdo, formerly the Pittsburgh Steelers writer for 247 Sports, experienced sports reporter that has covered sports at the high school, collegiate, and professional levels.
Yeah, I'll pass on his look at our football team.
All right. There was an article over the weekend, a report from ESPN saying that, and Jeff Darlington saying that right now Tua is not getting the contract he wants from the Miami Dolphins. They won't reach the Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence numbers. Would you pay Tua a big contract if you're Miami, bordering that like Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence top 5 quarterback salary?
Hoodie?
Well, this is the conversation that we've had, right, to determine whether or not Tua should be in that same stratosphere as some of the other top quarterbacks in the NFL. And I just think that he and Trevor Lawrence, I think it's neck and neck. I think we just talked about this a couple of days ago, Cap, about who's going to be the better quarterback when it's all squared away. Look, Tua's got a lot of weapons around him. That team could be a perennial playoff team. It's just that there's a ceiling on their success with Tua, I believe. I think they can get to the playoffs. I don't know how far they can get in it. I mean, who doesn't like their weapons and what they've been able to build so far in the McDaniels? I'm just saying, say it out loud. Tua Tagovailoa, $60 million a year quarterback.
No shot.
That's the thing, right?
You know what? You know what that is? That's paying Zach LaVine.
Just
we
telling you.
have to pay him. Shay and I have been arguing about that the last few days. And when they did it, full disclosure, I agreed. I said, can't let him walk out for nothing. I remember arguing with my brother, and he said, he's not good enough. Bite it, swallow it right now that we're getting rid of him and getting nothing. That's it. Done. And I said, you can't do that. You got to keep him. Guess what? He was right. I was wrong. That guy can't be moved now, attaching a first-round pick. That leads me to Tua. Can he stay healthy? Can you win the Super Bowl with him? Do you believe he's the guy? If you do, roll the dice and pay him. I don't, so I'm going to give him $60 million because I have no other option. Figure it out.
I mean, that's the other side of it, though, Cap. It's what Abdallah always says. Abdallah always says, well, okay, if you don't like the quarterback you have in place, who do you have that's better that can replace him right away? And it's kind of like if you're the Dolphins, you had been irrelevant for a long time up to this point, and it's kind of like, well, if not Tua, then who? Is there someone you could draft, or sonically you could have someone as good or better than Tua? That's always the question. And this is the going rate now. No matter if we like it or not, guys that we think are average players or average quarterbacks are going to get paid through the nose just based on how much money that's out there from a television standpoint, how these teams are growing, how the NFL's growing. Is he a $50 million a year quarterback? No. Will someone pay him? That's still up in the air. That wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't make sense to us, but this is how it goes in the NFL now. Jack McGrath.
Yeah, haven't seen a lot of quarterback franchise tags recently. I wonder if Tua is one of those guys that winds up being franchise tagged next year because they just need him for one more year during their competitive window, and then they have to move on.
It doesn't make sense, though. I mean, say it out loud. Tua Tagovailoa, $50 or $55 million a year.
Not long term. Maybe for 1 year when you have to win, when you still have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and all those guys. But out of year, when you have to start rebuilding again, you don't want that contract on the books. Let's talk about another contract, though. The Athletic said one contract worth watching for each team. They listed DJ Moore as the contract worth listing for the Bears, saying Kevin Fishbain said maybe there's a chance a contract extension is done sooner rather than later. Would you pay DJ Moore right now and lock him up, especially with the way wide receiver contracts are inflating? Or are you going to wait a little bit, see what you have with Rome Odunze, see how he works with Keenan Allen, or are you going to wait to pay him? Pay him right now and maybe get a cheaper deal, or wait to pay just for that safety net?
Woodrow?
Oh, I think that if I could get a deal done now, I just don't like to have stories lingering where someone's asking the player or asking me every time there's a mic in my beak about DJ Moore or who's going to get signed, who's not. I like to be able to shore this thing up. I like to be able to run the franchise like a Sam Presti. Let me sign my guys. That way you're not asking me lingering questions about, will you sign them, will you not sign them? No controversy. I want to be a drama-free organization. So if I could, Cap, I'd like to get it done now before I have to pay a lot more, especially if the Bears get to the playoffs.
Okay, so he makes, Jack, what did you say his salary was? I have 15.85.
I think that's about right. He's the 17th highest paid receiver right now in the league.
He's 27 years of age, Johnny.
Yeah.
15.85. Next year at 28, it goes down to 14.85. And he's a free agent after that for 2020, after the 25 season. So you've got him for 2 more years.
Lock him up.
I would probably try and start negotiations now because I love him. He's shown he could stay healthy. He fits in here. He's awesome in the room, the whole deal. So, yeah, I would probably start my negotiations now and try and get it done before opening day.
Jack, what'd you say? He's 27?
I believe that's correct. Yeah,
he is 27. That's correct.
Yep.
He's 27. Well, in today's medicine, Cap, that's the new 22.
Yeah. I was reading an article yesterday. We'll get into it this week.
Yeah.
For every 5 years you live now, you're going to get 1 back if you live a healthy lifestyle because of the advancements in diet, exercise, and medical science.
And a guy like him, Jack, I mean, I know the AJ number the number. Aaliyah taught us that. It's more like 21, 22.
And he just turned 27 April 14th. So he will play this season in his age 27 year.
Yesterday's show, we talked about Mike Evans, right? The veteran that's been around for a long time on his way to the Hall of Fame. That guy's in his 30s and still can get it done, even with his age. And so with Moore, when the Bears get to where they want to be, and hopefully that'll be this upcoming season moving forward, he will be a cornerstone that you can pay and just say, hey, Caleb, we got you a solid veteran that will help you and you will help him. I think that's a great 1-2 punch. I love it.
Agreed. I don't know what they'll do with Keenan Allen. Let's see if he stays healthy. Let's see if he handles playing in cold weather. So we'll see where that goes. Smart money. I think Waddle said to me he'll play 13 games. Keenan Allen, I'm talking.
Sure.
Because that's what he does. He always has a tweak of a hamstring, a groin, an oblique, or whatever. So we'll see. We will find out. You don't need to extend him yet.
The 8 a.m. hour of the Kap and J Hood Morning Show is brought to you by
I already said that would be.
Did you just?
I already did it in the headlines, kid.
All right.
I don't shirk my responsibilities.
All right.
That would be the Village of Bolingbrook, 2024 Live Golf Individual Championships at Bolingbrook Golf Club, which I've played many times. And we call Dan Hampton on that course the human ATM.
I got the money. I got $1.
Thank you.
Bernie'sBookBank.org.
Take that.
And you still owe 13. All right, coming up, more of your phone calls coming up. 312-332-ESPN, 332-3776, our phone number. If you're on hold, you will be on the air. Coach Q and Stan Bowman are back in the National Hockey League. Should they be? We'll address that coming up next on Cap.